I consider this a top five sitcom of the modern era. It was so big that it was brought into syndication in Canada and for a number of years in repeats, and only was dropped from the network when they picked up The Simpsons. So it has to be, if you've ever wondered whatever became of me, I'm doing a story on WKRP in Cincinnati, this American sitcom TV series about the misadventures of the staff of a struggling fictional AM radio station in Cincinnati. The show was created by Hugh Wilson and was based upon his experiences working in advertising sales at a top 40 radio station, WQXI in Atlanta, including many of the characters. Wilson once told the Cincinnati Enquirer that he selected WKRP as a call sign to stand for crap. The assembled cast consists of the great Gary Sandy as Andy Travis, Howard Hessman as Dr. Johnny Fever, Gordon Jump, the great Arthur, played the great Arthur Carlson, the big guy, Lonnie Anderson, who played the beautiful Jennifer Marlowe, Tim V. Reed, the black guru of the evening airwaves as Venus Flytrap, Jan Smithers, Bailey Quarters, Les Nessman, played by the great Richard Sanders, and the ultimate advertising guy, Frank Bonner, who played Herb Tarlick. Now, the series eventually won the Humanitas Prize, received 10 Emmy Award nominations, including 3 for Outstanding Comedy Series. Andy Ackerman won an Emmy Award for videotape editing in Season 3. Now, when he premiered on September 1878 on CBS TV Network and on CBC in Canada, it aired for 4 seasons and 90 episodes, ending in April 1982. Starting the middle of the second season, CBS repeatedly moved the show around its schedule, contributing to lower ratings and its eventual cancellation. When WKRP went in syndication, just like Star Trek years before, it became an unexpected success. For the next decade, it was one of the most popular sitcoms in syndication, outperforming many programs that had been more successful in prime time, including all the other MTM Enterprises sitcoms. Now, Jump, Sanders, and Bonner reprised their roles as regular characters in the sequel series, The New WKRP in Cincinnati, which ran from 91 to 93. Now, Hessman, Reed, and Anderson also reprised their roles as guest stars. Now, the very simple format, the station's new program director, as talked about in the pilot, Andy Travis, tries to turn around struggling radio station WKRP by switching its format from dated Easy listening music to rock and roll, despite the mostly incompetent efforts of the well-meaning staff. Bumbling station manager Arthur Carlson, greasy sales manager Herb Tarlick, and clueless news director Les Nessman, who is always mispronouncing names of copy, and, a lizard taking over Cincinnati. To help bolster ratings, he hires a new disc jockey, New Orleans native Gordon Sims, with the on-air persona of Venus Flytrap, and allows spaced-out former major American DJ Johnny Carvella with the on-air persona of Dr. Johnny Fever, already doing mornings in easy listening format to be himself on air. Rounding out the cast are bombshell receptionist Jennifer Marlowe and junior employee Bailey Quarters. Ruthless business tycoon Lillian Carlson appears periodically as the station's owner and the mother of Arthur Carlson. So every episode had its own plot, and he would develop the characters in such a way that they were revered by the audience. Now, when WKRP debuted in 78 in CBS's Monday 8 p.m. time slot, but it was shown much earlier in Canada, it was competing against ABC's Welcome Back, Kotter and NBC's top 20 show, Little House on the Prairie. The show initially earned poor ratings, and WKRP was put on a hiatus after only 8 episodes, even though it included some of the most famous of the series, including turkeys away when Mr. Carlson literally thought turkeys could fly. But owing to good reviews and positive fan reaction, especially from DJs, who immediately hailed it as the first show that realistically portrayed a radio business, CBS brought WKRP back without any cast changes. Now, it was given a new time slot when it invested in the network following MASH. This allowed creator Hugh Wilson to move away from the farcical radio-based stories that CBS wanted and to start telling stories that, while not necessarily dramatic, were more low-key and character-based. To allow the ensemble cast to mingle more, the set was expanded. A previously unseen communal office area, the bullpen, was added to accommodate scenes with the entire cast. Now, partway through the second season, the show was moved back to its original earlier time. CBS executives wanted to free up the prize post-MASH slot for house calls, which had former MASH star Wayne Rogers. They also felt that the rock and roll music and the sex appeal of Lonnie Anderson were better suited to the earlier slot, which was mostly aimed at young people. The mid-season time slot change did not affect the show's success. WKRP finished at number 2 in the ratings for its second year. For the next 2 seasons, the writers and producers often fought with CBS over the show's content in a so-called family hour. Now, starting with the second season, CBS moved WKRP around repeatedly, and the show lost nearly 2.5 million viewers on average for each of the 4 time slot changes in the 1980 season. Now, at the end of the 4th season, the network canceled WKRP. The final first-run episode of WKRP aired on April 21st, 1982, and ranked number 7 in the weekly Nielsen ratings, though the series had already been canceled. Now, ironically, it was videotaped in Hollywood before a live studio audience at KTLA's Golden West Videotape Division, later moving to the CBS Studio Center lot in Studio City. Now, Golden Globes really love the show. Lonnie Anderson was nominated 3 times. Best Supporting Actress, Series, Miniseries, or TV Film, and Best Actress in a TV Series, Musical, or Comedy. It won a unanimous prize for Hugh Wilson's Venus in Demand for 30-minute network or syndicated television. Now, it never it won 1 Emmy, but a ton of nominations. 1980, nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series, Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy, Variety, or Music Series, Howard Hesseman, and Outstanding Supporting Actress in a Comedy, or Variety, or Music Series, Lonnie Anderson. Outstanding Comedy Series in 1981, Hesseman another nomination, same thing with Lonnie, and Rod Daniel for Venus and a Man got Outstanding Directing for a Comedy Series. Now, Andy Ackerman for Bah Humbug, the Christmas episode, got a win for Outstanding Videotape Editing for a Series. Now, it did get another nomination for Outstanding Comedy Series in 1982, and Ackerman got another big nomination for videotape editing for the episode Fire. Now, TV Land Awards, 2005 Classic TV Broadcaster of the Year, Tim Reed. Broadcaster of the Year, 2006, Howard Hesseman. And Broadcasters of the Year, Richard Sanders, in 2008. Now, while Randy Travis received his name and some personality elements from a cousin of creator Hugh Wilson, he was based primarily on innovative program director Michael Harrington, who was also the inspiration for a character Jeff Dugan in a 1978 film FM, written by Ezra Sachs, who had worked at KMET. Dr. Johnny Fever was based on a DJ named Skinny Bobby Harper at WQIXI 790 in Atlanta in 1968. WKRP writer Bill Dial worked with Harper at WQXI, which is considered Dial's inspiration for the show. Now, coincidentally, Harper had previously worked at the Cincinnati AM Top 40 powerhouse, WSAI, in 1964, before moving to 11 other stations, including, get this, 7 in Atlanta. In 1997, Bobby Harper told WSB's Condace Presley, "We want it on record as pointing out which ones, including myself, that he based the characters on. That recognition was a nice little thing, you know. That was nice. I appreciate it." The Carlson were a pastiche of Jerry Bloom, WQXI's longtime GM. Mrs. Carlson inherited Bloom's brashness, while Arthur borrowed his nickname Big Guy, sense of style, and some of his unorthodox promotions, including the turkey drop. Now, although the show aired on CBS, the self-supporting transmission tower seen at the beginning to the WKRP in Cincinnati actually belongs to the embassy affiliate to Cincinnati, WLWT. Now, in the show, WKRP's offices and studios are in the Flynn Building, an Art Deco office building. The building shown during the show's opening credits is actually the Cincinnati Enquirer building at 617 Vine Street in downtown Cincinnati. Now, WK had 2 musical themes, one opening and the other closing the show. The opening theme, a soft rock pop number called WKRP and Cincinnati Main Theme, was composed by Tom Wells, with lyrics by Caesar creator Hugh Wilson and performed by Steve Carlisle. An urban legend circulated at the time that Richard Sanders, who had comparable vocal characteristics to that of Carlisle, had recorded a song. Wilson stated in a commentary for the first season DVD that this was not true. Sanders would later sing the lyrics in a promo spot for VH1 for the new WKRP in Cincinnati that parodied the U2 song Numb. Now, the closing theme, this is total foolishness. There's not even any lyrics. It was a different song that with more of a hard rock sound performed by Atlantic musician Jim Ellis, played over scenes from the episodes followed by a still photo of the Cincinnati skyline. Ellis recorded the song as a demo for Wilson, and as he had not yet written the lyrics for it, he mumbled nonsense words. Wilson chose to use the demo version because he found the gibberish lyrics funny and a satire on the unintelligible lyrics of many rock songs. Now, in a longer version, the original theme song was released in 1979 and peaked in 1965 at the Billboard Hot 100 and 29 on the adult contemporary charts. Now, ironically, music licensing was a big problem in syndication, but not in early release. The show's use of Blondie's Heart of Glass was widely credited with helping the song become a U.S. hit. And the band's record label, Chrysalis Records, presented the producer with a gold record award for the song's album Parallel Lines. Now, the songs were often tied into episode plots, and some pieces of music were even used as running gags. For example, the doorbell at Jennifer's penthouse apartment played Fly Me to the Moon was later replaced by A Beautiful Dreamer for copyright reasons. Now, the expense of procuring licenses for the original music delayed release of a DVD set for years, and there was no music. When the season 1 set was finally released, much of music was again replaced and it sounded like vocal dubs were present. Some scenes were shortened or cut entirely, but some deleted scenes that have not been included in the original broadcast were added. Now, in 2014, Shout acquired rights to the series for DVD release. Shout had planned to include all the copyrighted music that originally aired on the show and obtained the rights to include what they called the vast majority of the music, but explained in a few cases it was simply impossible to get the rights. Most of the dialogue dubs done for the 90 syndication airings were removed and the original dialogue restored. This release presented the second season episode Filthy Pictures and the third season episode Dr. Fever and Mr. Tide in the original hour-long formats instead of the syndicated two-part versions, bringing the episode count from 90 to 88. So, I mean, WKRP in Cincinnati, ladies and gentlemen, you can do a 1,000,000-minute podcast on it. But you have your favorite episode. Please let me know what you think. But if you're a Canadian growing up, you had WKRP in first run. In syndication, no wonder we're so comedic. Our babysitters in the afternoon after school was WKRP in Cincinnati. And I really think it's a top 5 sitcom of all time because the intelligence and love they had for each other, the cast has such a charisma. And as a journalist, when I hear about Chichi Rodriguez and Chahuahua and Billy Joel, and who's your favorite character? Let me know. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you're doing with our vintage television podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.